unanya ihe na-eme baburu obere ihe. Today the Enugu State water scheme will kick off by His Excellency Barr Ndubisi Mbah, located at Nsude 9th Mile Corner, Enugu State. That's where the water will be moving with all force and everything to Enugu. So Enugu will have massive water. 180 days in office, Governor Ndubisi Mbah has fulfilled his promise to Enugu people, and we are saying congratulations to Enugu, and indeed tomorrow is here.
To witness the commissioning of the ultra-modern 9th Mile water scheme. This water scheme is built for the benefit of the people of Enugu State and to the glory of God. So I have the honor and privilege to commission this water scheme here today. Thank you.
Tomorrow has begun. Water is here. This is the 9th Mile Ultra Modern Water Project done by His Excellency Barr Ndubisi Mbah. You can see the project is so magnificent and big that Enugu State will now have 24 hours of water supply. You can see the project very massive. You can see the project very massive, very massive, very massive, very massive.
In a way, I'm well about 71,000 liters reservoir. I'm well number Sudeba. So even if they connect like Mira over city. I want any other thing. And then Sude, after I go, ni Iwatele Enugu State, he was hello, Miri. Ijana Bogeba, I went to win that wind tank on an answer the Cody. Governor, I make Kenegi, Nahan Sudanine, and say thank you. In Kimmel, that I am Mekwala also. Thank you.
Successful place. From Jim to you, we have had about 10 governors, military and civilian. We have had 41, 42 years. And it's you that's making it work. That means there are so many auto tank you have to fill. All the ones that have been lost, all the ones people walked away from, you will bring it to fruition, because it's not about who built it. It's about for whom it is built, which is we in the Enugu. And we thank you for the way you keep on saying in the Enugu. We. It's all about us, Your Excellency. And we thank you for that. The 9 Mile Basin is bigger than Ngwa and Sude. It extends up to Oyimezi, up to Abo, up to Ebe, up to Nike. You know, it's big, Your Excellency. You're a development-minded person. There's water, so there's so much you can do for us. You walked around here when you were campaigning, you saw many things, you talked about many things. We need, you know them. We need a proper stop for trailers so that our roads can be safe and passable. We need a proper market. We need a proper automated mechanic place. Your Excellency, you have a good local government chairman. Get him to work with us of the community and private sector, and let here be the effective satellite town to Enugu, which it is meant to be. We know you're building the greater Enugu on the other side. We are hoping you don't forget this side, because we, especially we, are one of the strongest struts in the building upon which you stay. And it's not about to stop. Actually, today has made it imperative that we rededicate ourselves to supporting and making sure this government works. We thank you very much, and we thank the magician you brought that reignited what we thought had gone. We see what you're also doing. You're now shutting down the dump they put on the road. I don't know why somebody should dump refuse at the head of a river that people use downstream. It's poison you're sending down. Thank you, Your Excellency. Driving up that road, I saw that you've closed it. I know you're going to give us a proper waste maintenance system in Enugu. And I know that various other things, water and sanitation are twin children. That's why when the Japanese came here, they called JICA. They gave us water and sanitation. It's the greatest prevention of infant mortality, because children die from cholera, from diarrhea, and from lack of vaccination. Water is the most important thing. Sanitation is today. So now that you have a magician doing both, we are confident that these things will, in their time, come into fruition. We wish you well and welcome to our place. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Something that came up during my remarks was the fact that, and I think Andreas also alluded to it, maybe you didn't hear him well, that Enugu, beyond the sobriquet of Coal City, we can well pass for a water city as well, because we're sitting on water. So we have plenty of water. So we are not going to have challenges, so much challenges. There will be, but there won't be that much challenges with production of the water. We knew what we needed to do in the area of the upstream, producing water. And as you can see today, we've been able to crack that problem. We now have the capacity to produce more than enough water, enough volume of water than we consume. So that was the first thing we felt we needed to crack. And today, we're happy to say that we do not have challenges with production. Now, the second thing is, once you've produced, you're going to have to transport it. You have to move it to a storage. You can also see that we have built a very good network of transportation that allows us to transport the water from the production location to the storage. And once you get to your storage, the next thing is to reticulate, to make sure that all the areas in your state are covered, that they are able to get water in their homes. And we've listened to what we did when we dealt with the upstream and the midstream, the production and the transportation. The next thing we started addressing was the reticulation. There were existing pipeline network across the state. Those pipelines have outlived their design life, so we needed to replace them. So we started by replacing the asbestos pipes that had lived their design life and replaced them with the modern pipes. And you can see that even for those areas that had not been replaced, we started experiencing burst pipes. And what we are continually doing is continually replacing those pipes. But as we were doing that, we're also now expanding the pipeline network, going to areas that were new, that were not covered in the original master plan. So we already have the design for the expansion, and that is ongoing. It's going to be an ongoing process. So with respect to those who are in the business of water supply using their tankers, again, what you have to do is, we've created...
Congratulate you. So here is my question. Over the years, we've suffered from a case of poor management of infrastructure, especially key utilities in Enugu State. Are there structures that your administration has put in place to ensure continuity of this project, concrete structures that we can actually capture, see, and feel? Thank you.
But we also knew that relying on that fund was going to be a major issue because of the processes it would take to get no objection, you have to go to Paris to get approvals. So we knew that the timeline we had set for ourselves would never be accomplished if we were going to rely on that fund. So we decided that we're going to declare a state of emergency on our water sector, which was what we did. And what I can say to you today, that we have been able, through our internally generated revenue, as it stands today, to finance everything we have done in the water sector. So we have not taken a dime from the money from the French Development Agency or French Development Bank. That fund we may be considering to use for further expansion because the fund is already there, it's being taken, so we'll decide what to do with that. But we have been prudent in the way we manage our internally generated revenue, and we'll deploy that for the internally generated revenue to do what we've achieved today. In the area of the those in Emene, frankly, when we were confronted with the reticulation challenges, we had a lot of options available to us. One of them was to consider pulling down houses that had been built on water line, because there were, and that was the experience, unfortunately. We had a lot of houses built, particularly around the Emene area. So you have the storage, and people perhaps had thought that they were never going to have water running from that storage. So what we saw was houses built on top of pipe lines. So it was a very difficult decision to make. So what we decided was, because the houses were so many, and these are also houses belonging to Enugu, we now had to create a new right of way. So we basically had to redesign the water line, the water pipeline network. And so we've done that, we've finished the design, and it's obviously costing us more, but we felt that it was better to save those houses since there was an alternative, and then get those reticulation across the different homes. So that's ongoing. We imagine that between now, it will never get to February, between now and the end of January, we would have been done with all the reticulations to the new areas that we need to cover. We're aggressively working. We have a team of workers that are working 24 hours to ensure the expansion is going on a daily basis. So that we're going to achieve. Now the issue of maintenance is quite apt, and sustainability. So one of the things we've done in this administration is to recognize that we must build a strong institution. It doesn't matter what we do. So there are quite a lot of things going on that we may not be able to see or touch because they are intangible things, but they include automation of our processes, building a strong and training our workforce, building their capacity, and making sure that we have a well-structured working environment, but above all, trained workforce that we can obviously count on to sustain whatever it is we're putting on ground today. So it would come through training. Know that we're going to continue to build the capacity of our workforce so that they are able to manage these things post our administration. So it's going to be a sustainable thing. But above all is also to put a system in place that ensures that these things are managed effectively. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Someone did mention.
Question about the teaching hospital must be your information about the Park Lane Teaching Hospital must be stale, because as far as I know, Park Lane is connected. Park Lane has water. In fact, they are about. I'm sure by now they've decommissioned all their water tankers, because I personally spoke with the CMD of the teaching hospital. So Park Lane has been connected, so they have water. Thank you.